I'm not a lawyer, but Durk's attorneys want his federal M for hire case dismissed, and I read the 21-page motion, so let me tell you the 3 things you need to know about how they say the feds messed up and why this indictment should be dismissed. Quick setup to make sure we're all on the same page. The feds say that Durk, whose real name is Durk Banks, paid people to cause the death of Quando Rondo, but in the process of executing that plan, those people ended up causing the death of Rondo's cousin, SR. And now 5 people plus Durk are charged for the crime. But here's where Durk's team says the issues start. The original indictment for this case only charged the 5 men for this crime. Durk wasn't charged, but the indictment did include a reference to a person that they called co-conspirator number 1. And then a few weeks after that first indictment, the superseding indictment dropped. And in that indictment, Durk was named as co-conspirator number 1, and he was charged as the person who ordered the hit, paid the money, and then rapped about it all in a song. And that song was Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, which is technically a Babyface Ray song that Durk was just featured on. And the line specifically that the feds call out says, quote, "Look on the news and see your son screaming no, no," which according to the feds is a reference to the news clipping of when Rondo saw his cousin not alive anymore. Now that leads us to thing to know number 1, which is that Durk's team says that there are only 2 major differences between the original indictment and the superseding indictment. The first thing is that Durk was revealed to be co-conspirator number 1, and the second thing was the addition of these lyrics. Specifically, the superseding indictment said this about the lyrics. Quote, "Following the attempted death of Rondo and the death of his cousin SR, Durk sought to commercialize the death by rapping about it with music that explicitly references audio from a news clip taken shortly after the death where Rondo screamed no, no after seeing his cousin's body." So according to Durk's defense team, these lyrics were clearly key in getting Durk indicted because they weren't included in the first indictment where Durk wasn't charged, but they were included in the second indictment where Durk was charged, which would mean that the prosecutors presented these lyrics to the grand jury with the other evidence that they already had, and that resulted in Durk being charged for this crime. Which gets us to thing number 2 that you should know, which is that Durk's team says Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy was recorded 7 months before this death actually happened. And the specific version of the song that had audio from the news clipping actually overlaid onto the song is a fan edit, not the original song that Durk recorded and released. Basically, they're saying that the key evidence used to charge Durk were lyrics written and recorded 7 months before the incident even happened, and then an internet mashup that a fan edited and posted. And that's what gets us to the last thing you need to know, and that is, according to Durk's team, given that the government misrepresented what the defense say was key evidence used to indict Durk, the integrity or foundation of the indictment is undermined and it should be dismissed. Specifically, they argue that if the government knew that what they were presenting to the grand jury was false, they had a duty to correct it. And if they didn't know that what they were presenting was false, then that would mean they never actually investigated it to make sure it was true before presenting it. Either way, his team is saying that this indictment should be dismissed. And if the judge is not sure about granting a dismissal, the other option they say is that the judge should order a transcript of the grand jury proceeding to see how the lyrics were presented and whether the jury was told or not about this fan edit. Now, it's worth noting that at Durk's bond hearing back in January, his team didn't bring up the fan edit thing, so I don't know if they knew it then or not, but they did bring up that the song was made 7 months before this incident. And in response to bringing that up, the government basically said it doesn't matter when the lyrics were actually written or if they were about this death or another one that he ordered. The point is, he ordered a hit, bragged about it on his song, and made money off of that song. The prosecutor went on to say that they have more than just these lyrics against Durk. They have significant evidence, including a text message that he allegedly sent the day before the incident to one of the 5 co-defendants saying, quote, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." So that's the recap on the motion to dismiss. I imagine the government will file a response, but a hearing has already been scheduled for June to address all of this. Oh, worth including that because of all of this, Durk's team is also saying that he should get bond. Okay, so tell me what you think about this in the comments and make sure you are following me on TikTok and subscribe to my YouTube. Okay, bye.